Hey, welcome everyone.
We did it. We made it to the end of the mentorship session.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You survived.
Yeah. Let's first of all say congrats. Yep, like we did. You made it. You signed up 3 months ago, and who knew you'd be here today, 3 months later, hopefully a little bit wiser, hopefully got a little bit more progress done in your project. But we'll be talking to you about that a little later because we've got some of our members who are going to join us for the first time ever on one of our rap parties. So that's really exciting.
Yes, we're so excited. We're so excited that people are here. Oh, no, we have an echo?
Oh, is it me? It's probably, let me get my headphones.
Okay. Thanks for pointing that out. For those of you who didn't vote, for those of you who did vote, we are having a pizza party today. I'd love to see what everyone's pizza selections are, if you want to put them in the Discord or if you have them with you. Something wrong with my sound as well? Oh, no.
Okay, I've got my headphones in. Hopefully that fixed it maybe.
We'll try and get this figured out here. Let's see.
Oh, we're good. Private
All right.
chat says we're good.
Well, I have got taco pizza made by my friend Christy. This is my pizza of choice for today. Mike, do you have pizza with you today?
I sure do. Pizza is what I do have. Plates are what I don't. So I'm going to be eating out of this box. But this is a lovely Here Comes Truffle from the local Asheville Pizza and Brew Company. It's a truffle pizza with chicken, roasted red peppers, mozzarella, Roma tomatoes, just like a mama used to make.
When did your mom make you truffle pizza?
You don't know my life.
All right. Well, I'd love to see if any of our members have pizza with them or if they just want to say hello. If you're in our StreamYard group and you want to give us a thumbs up if you'd like to be pulled up on stream here, we'd love to say hi because we're excited to have people here with us for the first time.
I'll pull people up. Let's do it. All right. If you're on screen, you're getting pulled up. Hey, everyone. Welcome.
Hey.
How's it going? Y'all having a good day today?
Oh, very good.
Very good. All right. Who brought pizza?
Well, it's happened to be midnight here, so
it's the best time.
I got a paper pizza. That counts.
That totally counts. Are you kidding? That's
Wait,
amazing.
what toppings are on your paper pizza?
I think it's got mushrooms, peppers, cheese, the lot.
I love it. I love it. That's wonderful.
I didn't know it was a pizza party until like 10 minutes ago, so a little underprepared.
No worries. No worries. You still got an hour. So by the end of the stream, no, kidding. You're fine.
All right. We're having an echo issue here. Oh,
another echo?
Open in two windows is what the vote is here.
I had the same thing. I just had YouTube and StreamYard open at the same time.
I am only in StreamYard and I can hear no echo.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any pizza with me, but I do have like a really nice pot of chili that I started this morning. It's gonna bring it in.
Very nice. Very nice. Hey, we got someone else on camera. Let's bring them up here. Hello. Welcome.
Hey, hello. Hey, thanks. I do not have pizza as well. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
I had pizza on Friday, and I devoured the whole thing. So I thought it was not a good idea to get pizza again on the same weekend.
No worries.
It's very tempting, though.
Awesome. Well, so we just wanted to sort of bring everyone on here and just say hello and welcome and congratulations for finishing the 3 months. Can we go? Oh, wait, let's bring on Lou. Hey, welcome.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Good. The party going.
That's right. So if we do quick sort of clockwise around the screen here, just get us a sense of like what the past 3 months has been like. How is everything? Where were you when you started, and where are you now? Just give us a little bit of a recap. We rarely get to hear the experiences of our mentees, so this is kind of the only time Grace and I get to really sort of enjoy your stories. So please, we'll start with Lolo.
Well, when I started, I really didn't know what to do with the game. The game was finished, but I had no idea how to deal with social media and plan for a release or anything like that. So I really got a lot of feedback from Julie. She was really helpful, and I think now we have more or less a plan of what we're going to be doing for the next 6 months before the game is released, and hopefully it will be a success, or sort of.
That's wonderful. And self-publishing?
Yeah.
Excellent. Very cool. All right, fantastic. Let's go around the clock, continuing with Nathan.
I was not a mentee. I was a mentor.
All right.
My partner was Ash Kumar. He was working on an adaptation of Blades in the Dark to a game about a kind of a combination between in a fantasy realm set in somewhere around the fantastical version of Russia, a group of kind of a carnival / religious group / independent ethnicity defying a revolution through a competition of complex social mechanisms as well as resource management and cards.
Wow, awesome! That's fantastic.
Ash is he's probably the best person to tell you that. Still at a pretty early stage in direction, and no playtesting has been done yet, but made a lot of progress very quickly from a few assorted notes to getting an actual substantial playtest materials kits to come out, likely in a few months.
Well, that's fantastic.
I always love when people are early in their journeys. That's always a really exciting time to be part of the creation process for me. I always wind down as soon as it gets the closer it gets to the end, the less energy I have for things. So it's so fun to be around people who are still in the big imagination stages.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a good example of people come to us all the time and they're like, oh, I don't know if I have enough experience to be a mentor, or I don't know if I have enough to be a mentee even, and here we are with a project that was just, like you said, was scraps, was an idea essentially. And the goal was, I guess, to make it a prototype, right? And that first step is so important. And if someone discovers our program while they're just discovering game design, that is a perfect example of such a good project for you to just, put yourself out there. And it's totally worth having a mentor for, right? I mean, I wish. What? Say again?
If I remember my Ash's response enough, I think he was in role playing for less than 6 months before he became a mentee.
Wow! See, that's fantastic. That's wonderful. Yeah, that's fantastic. And yeah, let that be a sort of example of just sort of where you there is no bar essentially for signing up as a mentee, right? You just need to have an idea. And you can roll with that. And as a mentor, I mean, I know we have a lot of mentees watching right now. There are people out there who are literally just finding out about all this stuff, like you said, less than 6 months in the role-playing world, and look what kind of help they kind of need, and think about what you could offer. How far ahead are you? Have you been in longer than that? 1 year, 2 years? I'm guarantee there's at least 5 people who you can help. You know what I mean? So don't hesitate to sign up as a mentor next time.
I became a mentor and I hadn't even fully published a game yet, although I did during the window. When I first started, I was just in a later stage of one.
Yeah.
And at first, when hearing the other stories, I was kind of anxious too, because it seemed like everyone else there had published. But in honesty, some of these conversations that can be a lot less instructional and more like talks between the two, more discussion, more kind of equal. So I would not hesitate to be a mentor. If you were like me, where you hadn't published something and were somewhat anxious about doing that, I would personally go for it. You could still get a lot of discussion. It doesn't have to be a one-way relationship.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Said perfectly. All right. Let's keep going around the clock. Lou, how are you doing? How was your mentorship?
It was really good. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just stumbled upon it. I was sort of just kind of doing my own thing for a while, about a year. Just going to local playtest groups, of course. Then we had COVID, so it's like, what do you do now? And just going from designing on basically tabletop and then to learn virtual tabletop was like the best thing ever. Finding you guys amazing, so thank you for the program, because through this I met Justin Gibbs, and I honestly was like, I don't think we'll see, because I'm very niche, and I was like, I just want to do tabletop wargaming. That's really what I like. So when I threw that out there, I was surprised you guys literally found a guy who had developed tabletop wargames. So I was like, okay, well, this is a perfect match. I don't need to change. We're good. Yeah, so Justin and I went through, and basically we sat by and just kind of came up with ideas about what I wanted to do. I had a germ of an idea that was kicking around in my head, but doing something like this on your own is very difficult, especially when you're by yourself and isolated. So having somebody there that basically says, yeah, I've done it, I know the pitfalls, let's just focus on what you know, and we'll work on that. But really, just like after the first week, everything was real comfortable. We just sat down and just started said, okay, what is the game plan? How do we do this thing? And my background already is in some art. I've done game design before in the past, but mostly idly, not engaged in it. So I always wanted to. And then after that, it was good. It was just play testing, building, and just not being afraid to get yourself out there. Really, all it is. But we've come a long way. You'll see in the slide the original prototype versus where it is. It's like leaps and bounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's really good. So I think we're at a point now where we're at blind play testing, and then hopefully now that things have kind of died down a little bit with COVID. Not really, but we have the ability now to kind of go out a little bit more. I'm going to try to see if we can get some blind play testing done, and then of course on virtual as well. So yeah, it'll be cool.
That's wonderful. Fantastic.
Yeah. It's been a good ride. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, it's interesting that things are starting to open up a little bit. Our local group has just started meeting up in person. Small batch playtest, but it's been good. It's been really, really nice.
Yeah.
But for sure, the virtual stuff has been invaluable. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear it was good. All right, let's go to 9 o'clock. Fuller, how has your mentorship been?
Hey, it was a wonderful opportunity. So my situation is that I had several games. I've designed and playtest those, but I had no idea how to take the next step, because I never really felt comfortable with self-publishing. So that's something I don't think I have what it takes to do that. Maybe I'm sabotaging myself, but that's how I feel. So I really wanted to find a publisher, but I had no idea how to do that. And you guys managed to pair me with someone who had that knowledge, had that skill, who was very open to help me with that. So our first meeting was just me presenting okay, I have all these games, because I didn't even know what game to focus on. So we established early on what game to focus on. We focused one of my favorites, which is Dark Lord, a fantasy cooperative board game. So we're working on that. We're working on how to present that. So working on the sales sheet. We made a pitching script, a pitch video. We participated on the speed pitch event, which was a wonderful opportunity. Something that my mentor was very looking forward to as well. He was preparing me all the way along. So he really helped me with that as well. So I think that the pairing was I think someone else already mentioned that, but the pairing was also perfect. He had the knowledge exactly on what I was needing. We also had, I think, matching personalities. So we had similar interests. We had we were on sync on most things, and I think that helped. So it was very smooth working with him. Usually our meetings would take easily, even though it's just half an hour, we would easily go over 1 hour because we just keep discussing things. And it was really a nice opportunity because I think a mentorship was exactly what I needed right now, someone to guide me to the next steps. And even though we haven't really signed it or anything yet, that was not my goal. My goal was to make the game presentable and pitchable, and actually try to pitch. And we did exactly that. We were managed. We're working on those. We had the speed pitching event. So it was a really wonderful opportunity. So I'm really glad I really did very well.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. We always, there's always a bit of worry in making sure that people are paired off with people that are going to be a good match for And a couple sessions ago, people had made the suggestions to let mentors have a more active role in choosing their mentees, and that's really paid off really wonderfully. And so it's always exciting. We know not everybody's mentorship works out and not everybody gets a perfect pairing, but it's really exciting to hear when it does click and when it does really work for people.
Yeah. Oh, from what I've heard a lot of people saying that did work and match perfectly. So I think you guys definitely on the right path there. I think.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's great to hear. Yeah, and like we've said before, and some others, the pairings sometimes are like so perfect that we almost can't believe those two people signed up for the same program. So it's wonderful to know that like those do work out. Because we do put a lot of work into that to try to make sure everyone does have like a really good match. Not only in the section of the industry, but like you said, also like personality-wise, interest, things like that. We ask our application's pretty long, but we use every letter of that application, to try to match people. So yeah. Oh, and Adrian's saying their mentor was also really awesome. So yay, awesome. And hello and welcome everyone who's here, who we didn't say hi to already. Yay. Oh, and another one. Oh man. This is great. Did a great job with me and Kai as well. If we lived in the same town, we'd be playing games together. Our mentorship also got Kai back into designing. Hey, look at that. That's fantastic. Yeah, and it really is. It's that two-way relationship, right? I mean, Nathan, you were a mentor in this session. I mean, it's like you're helping them, but, you are also getting something back. It's not just total altruism, right? There is a little bit that you get from being a mentor as well, and that can help you. So it's great to hear those kinds of stories. Wonderful. Well, let's go into the I think it's the Alice part of the Brady Bunch, which is Ty. How was your mentorship?
It was really great. There were some hurdles with just connecting over a distance and having time available, but yeah, I think I learned a lot about kind of taking things back from the digital design that I'd been doing, like working more towards the physical components and things like that. So yeah, my mentor had some really great insights into kind of like how things would play when people are physically at the table together, and yeah, like what about like manufacturing? Are these components practical? It's like, does it match what publishers are looking for and things like that?
That's excellent. Was your sorry, did I cut you off, Grace?
Oh, I was just saying those are some big questions.
Yeah.
They're definitely a lot to explore there.
Yeah, for sure. Is your game design entirely digital, or had you printed a physical version of it?
I printed like a very crude version of it, like in late 2019, and I think I took it out to one play test before like everything got interrupted by COVID. So yeah, like it was kind of difficult to get from physical into digital, and now I'm doing the opposite transition, which is interesting. But yeah, like the bulk of the design work, like the look and feel of things was all done in digital. Like there's with the help of online playtest groups. But yeah, it was really neat trying to look at it from like not a marketing perspective, but in like what I'd need to know to start pitching, like what sort of weight of complexity is publishers are looking for. Yeah, it also raised a really interesting question about solo variants for games, which I hadn't thought of before. I don't know if anyone has tried that. Yeah. Oh,
what was the question?
Oh, I don't know if I'd really processed it before, but yeah, like he mentioned in passing, like if for a game like this, Yeah, for some reason in the past year or so, solo games have really taken off.
I wonder why.
That's an interesting one.
Very cool.
Hmm.
All right,
Nice.
Mike, I think we have one other person who joined in here that we could pull up, and then
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we'll go to a kind of a recap of the session here and look back over all that we've accomplished.
Yeah, definitely. All right, you're up, Abe.
Cool. Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah,
Yes.
welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike and Grace. It's been so cool to be a part of this mentorship. I was a mentee, and was paired up with Jason Schneider from GameRight, which was, I don't know, really amazing to work with him. He has so much experience developing games, and I'm a preschool for younger kids, preschool age, and I hope to develop games for families and children. So it was a perfect pairing to bounce ideas off him, and then just to be able to take a game which I had created during a weekend game jam event, and to see the next steps and consider questions about like how many components are good to have in there, what's the benefits of having higher player count, and just a lot of those kind of industry questions I wasn't aware of, but helped kind of move it towards being something that a publisher like GameRight or someone else might be interested in. So yeah, that's and I found out about this program through I think it's called That's Barely a Game, as a podcast, and the host and the person he was interviewing were just mentioning it, and I was like, wow. So I put my name in the pool, and yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, and definitely will recommend it to others and continue see what I can do in the future.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's so interesting to hear about how and when people find out about the program, and then I mean, kind of like everybody here, like what the stage you're at with your project, and how mentorship can really help you there. One of the genesis for the whole program was it's hard, I mean, the industry is hard in general, but it's hard to find someone to care. You know what I mean? In that way that a mentor does, implicitly. And the nice thing just about building this house and saying this is for these people, people who want to work on games, and people or work on tabletop projects, and people want to help those people. We're all after the same goal, right? To make each other better, lift everyone up. So you attract all the right people to a program like this, and we so appreciate not only all the mentors who are obviously so giving up their time, but also all the mentees for their bravery to sign up in the first place. It can be absolutely scary. You have no idea, if you've never done it before, what you're signing up for, and who could I possibly get? Will we be friends? Will we get clicked? So yeah, all sides. You all make this program. Everyone watching here, everyone who's been doing this over the last 3 months. Eternal thanks to all of you for all that. So, well, yeah. Wonderful. So Grace, with that, do you think we should turn it over to some recaps?
Yeah, I think if we want to go ahead and we'll let these people have a breather, get some water. And then for anybody who's watching too, Mike, where can they find the link? If you want to jump in and out of the StreamYard stream here, you're welcome to do so. We'd love to hear about any part of your experiences. We're going to kind of go through and recap here, and then we're going to go through the slideshow. And I think it'd probably be nice if you happen to be in the StreamYard while we're going through the slideshow and want to talk about your slide, want to read through it and share your experience there. That would be fun. So nobody feel pressured to come into the StreamYard or stay in the StreamYard, but we can have people kind of bounce in and out if that sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you'll find that link on our Discord in the announcements channel. So just click on that link and then let us know in the private chat. They're like, hey, I want to come on and say something about what you're talking about right now. We'll do that. Well, thank you all to all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you for joining us for the first part. It was wonderful to hear your stories, genuinely and truly. and we will continue to keep seeing you.
Yes. Also, Mike, can I just say, I've never seen anyone say they're going to go clockwise and then go around the full circle like a spiral and end in the middle. That was so not what I was expecting by clockwise today.
What do you mean? How would you have done it?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes people snake it or
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. That's fair.
he went like full Fibonacci sequence on us. It was cool.
I wasn't sure if I was going to be next like 3 different times.
We're always keeping you on your toes.
It's really just rule book writing practice.
Yeah,
If you say
really.
clockwise, what will people think?
That's right. Yeah, please, everyone in the comments, tell me the order you would have went in if you just saw go clockwise in the rules. That'll be a good lesson for rulebook writing. That's a great point, Grace.
I think if anyone has a game where someone gets to sit in the middle of the table, we know now how the order is gonna work.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
Thanks, folks.
All right.
So we're going to keep on as we move forward here, talking about the mentorship as it ran. We partnered with a lot of different groups this time around, and that was really exciting. We kicked off this session with a games day hosted by Meeps and Peeps, which is a community of game players and game designers and game lovers. We were really excited to put a game day at the beginning of the session. And if any of you attended it, I'd love to hear shout outs in the comments, what your experience was. Hopefully we know some people got together and played some games, and we basically wanted a way for people to get to know each other right off the bat. It can be really intimidating to jump into this program where you might not know anybody, or you're not sure if the people you know are in here. And so we wanted a way for everybody to gather. And we're really grateful to Carmen from Meeps and Peeps, who organized that whole event. And Carmen's team did just such a wonderful job in putting that together. It was a really joy to start off the session with some games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I attended one of those, and it was fantastic. It was so much fun. Yeah, and also, I mean, if we're talking about people who've contributed to this session, especially, huge shout out to the folks at Break My Game, who ran our playtesting, our first ever playtesting for the mentorship program, and it was wonderful. They ran monthly playtests through the Discord. They brought over all their magic from their own servers, and if you're a designer and you play, or you're just a playtester and you want to playtest every day of the week, almost every waking hour, go join the Break My Games Discord. They are absolutely fantastic, wonderful folks, and they were very kind enough to run our playtesting for us, and it's a great success. They have a good system going on there, and it worked really well over here. So we were so happy to facilitate that.
Yeah, they have such great standards, and I got to attend a couple of playtests, and all of the games were so fun and interesting. Comment here that Break My Game was an amazing playtest opportunity. We were really glad to be able to give people the space to test out their games together in this community. We know there's like 1,000 different playtesting opportunities, but we were really curious how it would go to host something ourselves. And I'm really glad that it gave people a chance to connect who were all kind of going through the same process together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then we did. Like Fuller mentioned, we had the speed pitching event that was just wrapped up a couple weeks ago, which was really wonderful. And that was coordinated by Heather O'Neill from Ninth Level Games, who also coordinated our last speed pitching event. Super wonderful. Went off without almost without a hitch. We had one little thing, but it was all good. But yeah, no, it was great, and as they mentioned, like for a lot of people, this was their first time in front of a publisher, and for some of them, it was their goal for the entire mentorship was just to get their game up to pitching, like Fuller said. And, we heard from a couple of people who were like, I've never pitched in front of a person before, and now I've pitched to 9. So, that's wonderful. It's so worth it. And, our eternal thanks to Heather for doing that for us.
Yeah, and a huge thank you to all the publishers who came and took their time to check out these games and hopefully sign some. We hope you'll hear from some of them soon for those daring, intrepid individuals who got to take part in that. And we thank everyone with their patience too. We know that's an opportunity a lot of people are looking for, and we're always looking for ways to expand those kind of opportunities, as it is pitching is a kind of a time-intensive process, even speed pitching. So we had to limit the number of participants, but we're grateful for everybody who participated. We put on the survey this time around on the application, like how many people felt they would have a game ready to pitch by the end of the session. And I think about 90% of you said, oh yeah, I'm super ready. So we love the enthusiasm and the ambition, but we unfortunately didn't have room for all 90% of you. And hopefully next time we can fit more in.
Yeah, that would be really wonderful. We got to figure that out, how to expand that, because it really caps at 20, for like a session.
And I will say, so one of the things that so Mike and I both come from a board games background, and we want this program to really work for the whole tabletop community. And we are really trying to connect with more folks from the RPG industry, because we do have people, we've already spoken to some, who are in the RPG world, and that's the projects that they're working on. And we know that the programs that we had kind of in stride with the mentorship program here did not always serve the members of our program who are in the RPG community. So if you are in the chat, I would love to hear what kind of it's almost like a capstone project, but what kind of opportunities would be really beneficial for you in the future. We will talk later about how we have an exit survey that we'll send out where we can get in-depth feedback, but I'm always curious for people in different pockets of the industry, how we can be better helping everybody, because we do have artists and reviewers and podcasters in this program as well, and pitching isn't going to help them, but we want to help everybody. So we're always trying to think of more ways, and the big way we know is to involve more people from those industries, and we're looking forward to doing that in the future. Yeah.
If you haven't heard yet, normally we run 3 sessions a year, but we're taking a break as this wraps up to expand the team, reorganize a little bit, register as a nonprofit, do some sort of behind the scenes to strengthen the program as a whole, to hopefully better serve everybody who's a part of it and has yet to be a part of it. So we are excited about all those possibilities. But that's a fall and winter project. Continuing on with the thanks. Drawn a blank. Grace.
It's the speaker series. That's what we're missing.
Of course.
The speaker series got a huge upgrade this time around. We were so lucky to have a host for the first time, so it wasn't just Mike and I trying to make this work. And Nathan Blades was just so above and beyond my hopes and dreams. They were, and continue to be, because we still have one more speaker series video coming up. But they did an amazing job as a host, asking insightful questions, keeping the conversation going, making everybody feel welcome. And then we had an amazing array of speakers this time. And if you didn't get to see the speaker series videos that have happened so far, they're all archived. We'll have them all up on our website, but we also have them all on the YouTube channel so that you can watch them at your convenience. Oh, beautiful teamwork, making that dream work. And so we're very grateful to all the speakers who came on board. This time around, we tried to focus on ethical and responsible game making. And we were really thrilled to have some fantastic people sharing their thoughts and experiences there. That was a real gift.
Absolutely. And those people are Sophie Williams giving a talk on Nobody Knows What They're Doing, which is a wonderful way to introduce, the entire series. Benita, who talked about how to use your platform for good, which was just not too long after she raised, thousands and thousands of dollars for COVID relief in India. Such a wonderful thing. Such a great talk as well, conversation with Nathan. And then Faye Onyx talking about disability pitfalls in role-playing games and how to avoid them. And Ruel Gaviola for making games more colorblind friendly. And then our one that wrapped up was Bez, turning ideas into reality, and really focusing on the more of, I would say, like the intentional, emotional side of things. There's a little bit of practical advice in there as well, but so many of the hurdles, the roadblocks we have are just kind of, we put on ourselves. So it was a wonderful way to get to that topic. So I really loved that.
And then coming up, we do have Kwanchai Moria, who's going to talk about art and illustration in board games. And I think Nick has the title card for that.
I do. 3, 2, 1. There he is. Look at that. Such a great picture. And such good art. If you haven't seen Kwanchai's art, I mean, I would first ask you, have you played a board game in the last 5 years? But the next thing I'd say is go check it out. It's incredible. We're so happy to have him on. And that will be next Sunday. And the date is on there. We'll flash that up at the end as well. Yeah.
So I think that's all the... Oh, and we had roundtables. Thank you to all of the mentors so we did a lot this session.
We did a lot this session.
Live and learn.
Maybe too much.
But we appreciate everybody making the time for it. The roundtables especially were something that people had really gotten a lot out of in previous sessions. And so we expanded that, and we're really grateful for all of the mentors who came in with their experience and led those discussions. We just think those are such a cool way for people to come together and share knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that, I think, is
it. We do have to thank, we had just talked about the speaker series, and we do have to thank Jeff Engelstein and New Voices in Gaming for sponsoring the speaker series. We try to have an ethos of paying people for their work, and that Jeff and that organization allowed us to do that. So thank you once again to Jeff and New Voices in Gaming for sponsoring that. And thank you to everyone on Patreon who has donated over the last few months. That's something we just recently started, and it's going really well. And that allowed us to do this session speaker series. So huge thanks. I mean, when you talk about what's that?
It allowed us to do speed pitching.
What did I say?
Speaker series.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. The speed pitching, of course. I was just talking about speaker series. So thank you to everyone there. I'm just so grateful for everyone who finds out about us, cares enough to want to support it in any way that they can. And it just allows us to do more. We're big into transparency here as well. We have a sort of end of the year report that we put out last year with all our financials in it. So, that money that we get from Patreon, our GoFundMe back in last July, all that goes into the program, into our micro grants and all that stuff. So we really, really appreciate it. And, Grace and I, we're just here, we're just here. We do some of the administrative work, but everyone else really makes this all possible. So our eternal thanks to everyone who has contributed in any way, sharing, liking, commenting, donating, all that stuff. It all measures up. Wonderful.
So I think at this point, it might be a good time to bring on, I think we have a couple more people who have joined us in the StreamYard here. Can have a chat with them and then go ahead and go through the Mentee yearbook.
Yeah, sounds good. So I'll bring up anyone new who has a video up. If you don't want to be on video, you just want to do voice, message us in the private chat. That's totally cool, and we'll bring you on as well. But so far, I see our first new person is Yona. Hi, welcome.
How are you doing?
I'm great. It's been a really fun summer. I've done a lot of different projects, and I was super busy, but it was really great to be able to connect with this program sort of on my time. You get out of it what you put into it, and that means that you can put a lot into it and get a lot out of it. I was sort of on the other side where I was dipping my toe in and meeting with my mentor a lot, but not going to a whole lot of the other events. But I still feel like I was able to get really a lot out of it just from that. And I'm really happy that I was able to, even though I had a really busy summer, keep RPG design on one of my burners, even if it wasn't the front one.
Well, it's wonderful. Absolutely. So what was the, where did you start with the project at the beginning, and where are you now?
So I started with a sort of vague idea of some different things I might want to work on.
Perfect.
And
best
by
place
the
to
end
start.
of it, I had by the end of it, I have, I'd say fully the rules section of the player's guide finished. Oh no, y'all are a bit frozen.
Oh, are we frozen for everyone?
Okay, better. You're better for me.
Okay.
Maybe you're just like listening very intently.
Yeah,
I
keep going.
was.
You're good.
Yeah, so now I have the rules section finished, and the player's guide about like how to build your character and the world design about maybe 50-60% done. I ended up over the course of the summer learning a lot more about Blades in the Dark, which is just such an awesome system. And it turned out it really had everything that I was looking for in like a backbone. And because of the licensing of it being totally open source, hackable, take what you want and remix it how you want to, I have been able to use that skeleton to build a Forged in the Dark game set in the early Stone Age with mammoths and cave paintings, and you can play as like a shaman with, you know, spirit magic, or you can just like play as a fighter. You can have Neanderthal blood, you know, whatever you want. And it's really cool to have that skeleton for it, so that I'm not reinventing the wheel, though your characters might be.
Is that the tagline? It's so good. I love
I
that.
love those projects though that let you come in and hack and remix and make your own. It's so freeing and inviting, and really gives you that permission to fully dive in and explore it. And I feel like sometimes, you know, you have an idea that holds you back because you're not sure, like, oh, could I even get this licensed, or, you know, would somebody with copyright yell at me? And so it's so nice to go in with that freedom that's just like, oh, I can dive into this and really make what I want.
And I think it really hits on like a good understanding of what value we're creating for each other, because I know that when I started designing things, I really wanted to keep like some of the rules really close to my chest, because I was like, that should be proprietary, and like I don't want people to just take my stuff. Why would they buy my thing then? But you know, the great thing about the philosophy of games like Powered by the Apocalypse and Forged in the Dark and all these systems that say like take us, hack us, break us, is that it even more makes you think about what it is that people need the source books for. Because when people do RPGs, they don't get excited. I mean, some people get excited about the nitty-gritty rules like I do, but most people, the make or break factor isn't like whether it's D20 plus modifiers or a D6 dice pool. Like that's not why you really want the book. You really want the book because it gives you the tools as a player and a GM to explore a fun world, fun themes, a fun story, fun characters, fun art. And, you know, if you want to homebrew all of that stuff, you can. But if you want to buy a book, it can give you some of that inspiration and some of that legwork. And like, that's the value that I'm trying to create for other people, is if you want to run a Stone Age game, I can give you, like, I think the Forged in the Dark system is a really good system to run it in. So here's a rundown of that system. But now here's 7 different character archetypes and how you could advance them. Here are a bunch of different factions that you could play and what projects they could be working on and how your party could interfere with them or not. And that's what gives you the tools to really like dig in and play, more than just a focus on, oh, like, should I have this mechanic or that mechanic?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. It's such a cool framework, and the possibilities seem endless there, where you have so many resources that you can reach out to and really explore and have fun with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the chat is sharing their personal Stone Age RPG experiences. Fuller is saying they once played one where the players only know X words, where X was their intelligence value.
So
Which sounds
there's sort
hilarious.
of two ways to do Stone Age. There's like Flintstones, like Stone Age stereotypes, which is super fun, and like it feels like that kind of fun, wacky, like you can just escape and things. But another way to do it, which is what I'm trying to do in my game, is really exploring what the Paleolithic world was like, which is terrifying because there are like giant saber-toothed cats and woolly mammoths and everything wants to kill you, and humans have not established themselves as the top of the food chain. But we know, because of genetics and archaeology, that our brains and our culture was 100% as developed then as it is now. We weren't like stupid grunting people. Like, sure, maybe 3-4 million years ago, the ancestors of humans had different cognitive abilities. But when we talk about 10,000 years ago or 50,000 years ago, we were genetically and culturally identical. We had the exact same like language skills and ability to make art and to think complexly. We just didn't have any control over our environment. And
That's
so,
wild.
if you ever want to play that like post-apocalypse game, like that's I think where the impulse comes from, is that in our oldest genetic memories, we know that us being at the top of the food chain and having this security is a thing that developed and not a thing that has always been the case.
Very, very cool.
That is fascinating. I never thought about it like that. That is wonderful. Wow, so cool.
So
The things
the
you
other
learn.
thing, not to do too much promo for my game, but I think it's cool, which is why I'm developing it.
Yeah.
Is
Of course.
that when we think of Stone Age people, we tend to think of European Stone Age, where people were wearing furs and cloaks and living in caves and hunting woolly mammoths, because we found a lot of really cool artifacts there, and that's become our image of the Stone Age. But when I'm designing different backgrounds for my game, I'm also designing backgrounds where you can play as people who, instead of living off of like mammoth meat, mostly lived off of fish and seafood and were expert swimmers. There was a whole culture of humans who lived mostly on the coast of North Africa from the same Paleolithic period, who lived off of deep diving for shells. We know this because like the skeletons of their ears developed like bone spurs from how deep they dived and how often they dived.
Wow.
Whoa.
And so these were people who developed, amazing lung capacity and would go diving way down deep the way that we do, like for pearls, but that was their way of life. That was how they survived. So you can play as, Stone Age person from, I'm calling them the cave folk, who live in the north, in the uplands, or, you can play as someone from the beach folk. You can play as grass folk. I'm trying to flesh out all these different really unique cultures, because there wasn't just one Stone Age culture. There were so many of them, and each one of them was rich and distinct. And we have lost some of that because not a lot of evidence survived. But I think when we do role play, especially when we do role play into historical periods, we can either perpetuate some negative stereotypes about those time periods, or we can engage in a way to like make them come alive in a really new way. And I think that that's a cool thing, and that's what's motivated me to explore it.
That's an absolutely cool and fascinating perspective. I love hearing about people's projects, and it sounds like yours is really exciting and really interesting. So thank you for sharing so much about it. Please never feel like you have to shy away from being excited about your games and your projects, because they're so interesting. And learning more about everybody's projects is definitely one of my favorite parts of being part of this program.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experience. To everyone else who is in the back, the green room of StreamYard, we're going to start cycling people out because I think we had someone try to join and not be able to. We can only have like 10 up at a time. So forgive us if we kick you, but that's just to make room for some other people. But you can still see us on YouTube if you switch over to that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on and sharing. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. This program has been such a great opportunity, and my mentor and I are actually going to keep meeting even though the program is over, because we've just developed a really nice professional relationship, and I'm excited to keep sharing our stuff with each other.
That's awesome. Oh, warms my heart to hear that every time. Super wonderful. All right. Well, we will say goodbye for now, but we'll see you hopefully as we continue this wrap-up party, which I think next up we are going to go to a slideshow.
Yeah, we're going to go to the Mentee yearbook. We're so excited to see what everybody submitted here. And as we are kind of kicking people out of the green room, if you see your slide come up, or you know your slide is about to come up and you want to join in the StreamYard so that you can talk about it and share your experience, 100% please do that. And if you don't, we're going to share what you've put in the slide. We're very excited to share that with everybody. So I think I've got an echo there.
Another echo?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to go ahead and pull that up here. I'm going to add that to the stream while Mike eats some pizza.
Sorry, I don't know if you're waiting for me or not.
Well, I can't control the yearbook, so you're going to have to click into the first slide, and then I can go from there while you continue to chew.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And drop it on my shorts. Okay. Someone's getting an echo.
I think it might be okay now.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, so let's go on with the first slide. All right, this one is from Andrew, and this is awesome. Okay, so thank you so much. We're going to read these out. Thank you so much, Daryl. My mentor, Daryl Andrews, and I met a bunch of times, and even though he was very busy and we had many meeting delays on both sides, we always ended up finding time to talk. Awesome. And I always had his full attention when we did. Not only that, but his playtesting feedback was invaluable, and he reassured me that I was on the right track. He's helped me down the path to pitching and helped me set up my sell sheet. And I'm looking forward to reaching out to publishers soon. It's awesome. In all my years of being on both sides of the mentor-mentee relationship, he gave me the single most valuable 20 minutes I've ever had. We discussed who would be a good fit for my game, wine cellar from the publisher's perspective, and who I should target and why. This would have taken me months to put together on my own. His insight into the industry really was tremendous. And that included the sell sheet for Wine Cellar. That's awesome.
I got to play Wine Cellar. One of the playtesting events actually is super fun.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a really cool game, and it's especially fun, I presume, if you're a wine enthusiast. I'm not a wine enthusiast, but for me, any game that can transcend its theme and just be enjoyable, even if you don't know the different types of wine, is extra exciting. So that was really fun to get a chance to play. So congratulations, Andrew and Daryl. Oh, I love to hear when things go well. And I do want to just shout out really quickly here. Sometimes it can be intense to hear about everybody's really positive experiences. And that is generally what we see a lot of in the Mentee yearbook. Understandably, people aren't always as excited to share the negative experiences, but we know that those things happen, and we celebrate everybody's experience, however it went, even if it was only short. We know mentorships fall apart. So we just wanted to say, even if you didn't have an amazing life-changing experience, but you stuck it out, or you weren't able to, we're still proud of you and really glad that you were part of the program.
Absolutely. Thank you, Grace, for saying that. And also, Adrian, I don't. I will try to make sure I mute my mic before I continue to chew my pizza. Okay, Grace, you want to take this next slide?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
So you can quietly chew.
that's right.
Can you load it up? There we go. All right. I'm very grateful to our mentor, amazing mentor, Maxwell, for helping us take the next steps on our channel, Losapalooza. Oh my gosh, this looks so cool. Together, we actually got things done, boosted our confidence, made it look all snazzy. Thank you, Maxwell. Thank you, Tabletop Mentorship Program. Losapalooza would love to feature your games. So if you are seeing this, please get your games featured. And it has a video embedded. I don't know if that will play if we click play.
We're about to find out. Let us know if you can hear the audio.
Nope,
No?
I can't.
Ah, no audio.
It's going now.
I think. If you can't hear it, it's a take on the Cheers theme, and it's very adorable. People are saying they can hear it quietly.
This is so sweet.
So sweet. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
Love that.
Charming. And we will have the slideshow available for anybody to watch on their own. So you can always go back and, click these links, watch these videos, reach out to people. I know some people put their contact info in. So that was an adorable little celebration of all their hard work. And somebody was saying, didn't know we had mentors, mentees for YouTube channels. That's so cool. It is so cool. We have so many content creators in this program, reviewers, podcasters, video, streamers, all sorts of things. We're always excited to see, again, it's anybody who signs up. We say anything related to tabletop games and we 100% mean it. So that was awesome.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to Losapalooza.
The first thing was about wine. The second slide was the Cheers theme. Are we secretly alcoholic in 2021? I hope not. Everyone drink responsibly.
All right, let's see if we can go 3 for 3. So this is a drinking game, but not really a drinking game, which is like, can you connect this next slide to drinking?
Terrible.
All right, let's see. Here we go. All right. Oh, it's from Lou. All right. Before getting into the tabletop mentorship, I was really starting to lose motivation with all the struggles I was having trying to design my first game and learn game design on my own.
Wait, let's bring Lou on.
As he talked about that. Is he still there? If you're still here, let us know if you want us to bring you on.
You can keep reading in the meantime.
Okay. During the mentorship, I was paired up with the perfect mentor for me, Justin Gibbs. He has vast knowledge in tabletop war game design, the exact thing I was looking to get into and help with. Each week, I left our meetings invigorated and ready to implement the necessary changes to make my game better. It was a long road prior to this mentorship, but these past months flew by and have easily been more productive than the year before. Now my game Immortal Clash is ready for blind play testing. Thank you, Justin, tabletop mentorship team, and all the amazing people I've met in the program during this fantastic opportunity. And there's the prototype difference that he mentioned. All right, let's bring Lou on. Hey, Lou. Oh, you're just muted through StreamYard, I think.
Well, this looks awesome, though. Look at how far that's come from the first prototype to the final prototype. That's amazing.
There you go.
Yeah, it's very different.
What a journey.
Yeah, it's funny because when you sign up for this thing, I had an idea of what I was going to do, and it was definitely not this. And
oh, really?
Yeah, in the first week we just talked about it. He's like, well, what do you really want to do? And this is before I researched and knew much about Justin. And I was like, oh, well, I have some kind of game I want to do, maybe like a board game and stuff. He's like, okay, but what do you really like to play? Like, what's your favorite thing? And I was like, well, I like board games, but I really have a miniature wargaming background. He's like, do that. Don't waste your time. Like, if that's the other thing you don't like to do what you like. I was like, okay, yeah, all right, so let's change gears. And then, like by the end of the first week, I had a proposal and an idea what I wanted to do. And the main thing that Justin really did that was really invaluable for me was I need a lot of sort of just that guidance, that sort of initial instruction, like, okay, how do you do this thing? Because I listen to podcasts, I watch the channels, I'm all over this place. But like when you actually sit down and say, what are the steps you need to take in order to make this happen? That's a big deal, right? And trying to do that. And I'm neurodivergent, so like it's very easy to get distracted. And then having somebody say, like, if you follow these steps, this will help you get to the end goal. Once I had that laid out, it was less, just cruising at that point. Every week was just meeting up, making sure we're just hitting those sort of deadlines that I was setting for myself, and he was following through with. But it was really good, yeah. So very different, not what I expected, but I'm ultra happy with sort of the results and where we're going with this. Like, and yeah, I can't wait to start blind play testing.
That's awesome. It sounds like good surprises all along the way.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But yeah, and anybody else who's out there, we had a discussion the other day, but people who are looking to, they were like, do you do more when you're prototyping? Should you go more for the, visceral hand stuff that you can grab, or should you go virtual play? Like, if you can get virtual, was it what's one we're using? Tabletop
simulator.
Virtual. Yeah, what's one on stream? What's it called? My brain is blanking right now.
There's Tabletopia.
Yeah, Tabletopia is good too, but there's the one that you pay for.
Tabletop Simulator.
Yes. Tabletop Simulator has been like invaluable for me.
Yeah.
Once you have that, the fact that you can just get people in there, you can structure it how you want it to. It's all your own stuff. You can upload and change things if you need to. And then since you made everything digital, you just print it out when you're able to go and play live. So yeah, people have asked about it. I'm like, that's what I use. Use it if you can. Like, it's fantastic. Yeah, but thank you guys. Appreciate you guys doing this, like to set up the whole program. It's fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait to you guys do it again.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah,
no problem.
Awesome. And yeah, so we are. Yeah, I love what you're saying about the the digital stuff, and people. This is a good actually segue into just saying, everyone here should be part of the Discord that we've got going on. Please know that will always be there for you. Even though this mentorship is ending, your membership in the program is not, right?
Yeah, we're not going to kick you out.
No one's kicking you out. We're not cleaning house with the Discord. Everyone basically who's ever been in the program is in that Discord. And so, keep posting, keep sharing all your work, like especially as your projects get closer and closer to completion. Let us know how we can find that, how we can support you, and use it as a resource as well. If you continuing to work on your stuff, you have questions, definitely post in there for people. We had a really nice active group this session, which is really wonderful to see. So keep those good vibes going. You're obviously still welcome to take avail of those resources, and like roundtables we do in the future, I think will still be open to everyone. So, again, like this is sort of a, as long as you want to use it, we're here kind of thing. So.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I'm definitely sure a lot of us are going to be paying it forward as well. We learn, we want to share, it's the most inclusive that I've ever in any kind of industry. And I come from the games industry, video games and film. Mm-hmm. So that stuff is its own thing, but this is like so inclusive. It's very refreshing. Let's just say that.
Wonderful. Oh, yeah. That's fantastic. That's fantastic to hear. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we are going to head on to the next slide. Lou, thanks for coming out and sharing your story.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Okay.
Cool. That's wonderful. All right. Next slide. Grace, you want to take this one?
You bet. Hey, it's Abe Underhill. Thank you, Jason Schneider of GameRight, for your encouragement and feedback. I created Time Flies during a weekend non-pub game jam. It was exciting to make a game in such a short time, and I loved the initial concept, but the design had stalled. Our talks inspired me to keep playtesting, consider manufacturing constraints, and stretch the player count. I'm excited to continue the process and believe in the potential of my game as well. You should. That game looks so cool. We're swimming, we're jumping. Look at those happy frogs.
Yeah, I love that you laid out. Abe, you want to come on? Give us a thumbs up if you want to come on.
Yeah, let's bring Abe on.
Yeah.
This just looks like so much fun. It's one of my favorite things about board games is that you just see something and you're like, I want to play this. I absolutely want to have this experience.
Absolutely. All right, Abe, we're going to bring you on. Hey, Abe.
Hey. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the initial one was even simpler than this, but it was so much fun to play test it with my family, and then I kind of stretched out beyond the home and connected with a local group, and I'm looking forward to doing it at some smaller conventions in the area, and play testing with other families and stuff. So yeah, it was neat to kind of have that initial idea. And as far as the sequence of these games, this one is not about alcohol. It's just frogs eating flies. But
there you go.
I love it.
Good response.
That's wonderful. Now I have a silly question. Are those actual frog figures?
So the ones in the top are the counters for how many flies you eat. The dice represent little swarms of flies, and they go around the pond. And then the 4 small figures are actually like, if you imagine a see-through like a sari player, there's 2 small ones and a third one to make the frog. So that's also in development.
you just cobbled together sari pieces to make that is, but it looks so good. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's got the big mouth.
That's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, I love the creativity of people. Just astounds me sometimes, and I love that. That's great. Yeah, that's super awesome. Looks super fun. So you said you were playtesting it with did you playtest it with your family and other families as well?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it's kind of geared towards younger, like 6 plus. But I have a couple teenage kids, and they enjoyed the challenge and gave me feedback about how to, bring in some strategy that would make it interesting for older players. And that's what I want to do, kind of bridge so that whatever it is, families can enjoy it at all ages. So
wow, that's
awesome.
super cool.
That's a wonderful goal.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you continued luck as it continues to develop. It looks like an awesome project, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here.
Yeah. Thanks, Grace and Mike.
Of course.
Thanks, Abe.
Thanks for being part of the program.
Awesome. Oh man, yeah. This is the hard part of the slideshow. It's just like, I want to play that. I want to play that. I want to watch that. All right, we'll go to the next slide here. I'm not sure how many are left because I can't really see it, but okay, cool. There's another one. The Unnaturalist. Let's see, a solo journaling RPG of scientific discovery in an unnatural forest.
That looks
Learning.
so cool.
Oh, so this is sort of like what they did during the mentorship. So Learnings and Wins released 2 new updates. Awesome. Improved accessibility features. Very cool. Commissioned final art. Interesting. That's awesome. Next steps, additional playtesting, formatting and layout. Make more games. Love it. Always the next step is make more games. Topics to explore next session: indie printing and self-publishing, networking and social media presence. And then thanks to Miss Claire for 6 great work sessions. Wonderful. Well, that's awesome.
Cool. And then we've got some analytics down there as well.
Oh, I didn't even see that. That's super neat. 700
Yeah, such a cool
download. Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Oh, So again, everyone, you can go through and click through the slideshow. You can go click the link, check out the game there. That looks so awesome. That's such a cool project. And then we have a comment here. Glad to catch the yearbook glide. Had a great session working with my mentor on the Unnaturalist. So thank you so much for sharing your experience here. This looks so cool. Again, the list of things we need to play just keeps getting longer and longer.
Right, exactly. And then Donnie brings up a good point, topics to explore next session. So if you caught us in the beginning, we are taking a break in our normal mentorship cycle. Normally we'd start run like right away, which is kind of bananas, but it's what we do. But we are taking a break. So the next one, if you are interested in doing another session of the mentorship program, like Donnie here is working on part of their project. Then the next part, it might be a different area of expertise where you can find a mentor for that. Our next session will run next year. So sometime early next year, January, February area, we're going to open up the new mentorship session after we've sort of reorganized things. But yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it's also important to say that you are always welcome back in the program. A lot of times we have people who say, well, I was in the last session. I don't want to take up a spot that someone else can have. I wasn't sure if I could do it again. You are always welcome back as a mentee, as a mentor, as both. When we match people, we match very specifically. And so we like to remind people that we wouldn't match you up if we didn't feel there was a good pairing for you. And we always try and make the best possible matches. So if we match you up, we think that you're the best fit there, the best partnership. So don't feel intimidated if you want to come back to the program. You know, you've heard from some people who are repeat members. We can't guarantee that you'll always get paired up again, but we do our best to make sure that we're making really strong matches, and you're always welcome back. We love having you here.
Awesome. All right. Next slide.
Wow.
Adrian.
This is so cool.
Whoa, look at this.
Adrian was mentored by Matthew Dunstan. Says, when I applied to the mentorship, I wasn't sure I'd get in. So when I did, and then was paired with someone I admire, I was over the moon. Matthew was amazing for me. I learned so much from him, from getting ideas, playtesting, pitching, etc. He invested so much time on an aborted design, then still gave me guidance on 2 other designs. But most of all, he gave me confidence when I was at my lowest. He gave me hope that maybe I'm not a bad designer. He was the mentor I needed, and I'm grateful to both him and the program for pairing us up. Thank you. That's great. And Adrian in the chat says, I will return as a manatee.
It's very ominous. I don't know. I mean, I love manatees. Manatees are one of my favorite animals. So I'm jazzed about that. That's awesome. And then he put here what I learned from the 6 weeks. There are no perfect prototypes. Don't obsess on fixing all issues before you think it's ready to show the world. If it's fun, it's ready. Let others help you from there. Yes, absolutely. As Bez told us in the last talk, get it on the table as soon as possible. Yeah, there are no perfect prototypes. And honestly, there are no perfect games except for Jenga. That's the perfect game. But games are just done. There is no shame in highlighting your skills. If you are a whiz with Word, use it. If you're a magician with MS Paint, own it. No judgment, no shame, be you. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Truest advice, crushing it, Adrian. That's amazing. Such on-point advice. Thank you so much for sharing all that and for being part of the program. I'm so glad you had a good experience. That game looks so cool. I leaned forward to look at the pictures more.
Yeah, no, looks, again, another game we need to play.
Yep.
This is fantastic. Well, thank you, Adrian, for sharing that. And corrected the 6 weeks to 6 sessions. Wonderful. All right. Do we have another slide? Yes, we do. Oh, it's Fuller. Hey, all right. The Dark Lord, an entry-level push-your-luck RPG adventure. So Fuller's goal mentor was Peter Yang, and his goal was make the game more presentable, publishable. Pitch to at least one publisher. Check. Awesome. As you mentioned before. Additional results, new sell sheet, which they've attached on the left there. pitch script and pitch video, additional playtest, and mechanic adjustments. Lots of questions on the publishing market answered. Awesome. And then comments. My mentor, Peter, was a great match from day one. He was very energetic and friendly person with a lot of knowledge when it comes to designing board games, especially when it comes to pitching games to publishers, which was exactly the area I needed most help. Being able to work with him during these 3 months was a wonderful opportunity and the push I really needed to get my project moving. Special thanks to Mike and Grace for making this whole thing happen. You're welcome.
Yeah, especially you're welcome.
Yeah. Your sell sheet looks awesome. Let's bring it on screen.
Yeah.
Hey, hello.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, I forgot to add a few things there, but we also work on a new rule book. Actually, a first time rule book for the speed pitching event. That was a requirement, so that was a good opportunity to get that done. I was happy with the outcome. I'm not super happy, to be honest, with the sell sheet. I had a meeting with my mentor earlier today to wrap up our partnership. And my plan is to make a new version of that sell sheet and keep improving it. So that's my next step. But yes, it was a wonderful opportunity to work on a game. He helped me pick one of my games to focus, but he did happen to pick one of the ones that I'm most passionate about, if not the one that I'm most passionate about. So it was very wonderful to be able to work with that and to have these common goals that we set together. And we got a lot of things. We got both our goals. I was able to participate on the speed pitching event, so that's it's not just at least one publisher. That was 6, so that's 6 times higher than the original goal. We have also all those additional results, so it was all I was hoping for and more. And like I mentioned, thank you both so much for organizing all of this. It must take a lot of time, a lot of effort and stress, but it really means a lot to me, and I'm pretty sure it means a lot to all other mentees and mentors that are part of this. So yeah.
Oh, absolutely, our pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a delight, and we're always happy when we see people crushing their goals like that. It's just so nice to see everybody's excited and putting in the work. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
No problem.
Yeah. All right, let us see if there is another slide. This is a push your luck game. How many slides are there? This might be the last one. Let's see. Click. Oh, there's another one. I came into this mentorship program with nothing but an idea on how I could turn my bad experience with sexual exploitation and abuse into a fun educational game. I had zero knowledge of board game terminologies or even knowledge on how I could design one. But my mentor, Bez, made the process super easy, and I literally now know what to do now. And we'll be working on a couple of designs in the coming months. Fantastic. I thank Tabletop Mentorship for this opportunity and Bez for all the amazing insights she shared. Thank you. That's wonderful. That's great to hear. And again, you sign up as a mentee with nothing but an idea, and then, look what it turns into. That idea becomes a prototype. That idea becomes, another game, becomes 3 or 4 games, you never know what's going to happen. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your story there. Awesome. All right, we'll go to the next slide. Oh, that is the last one. We busted.
We did it, everyone.
Great job.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing your experiences, whether it was on the slideshow, whether it was coming in to chat with us here as part of this wrap-up party. We keep trying different ways to do these celebrations at the end to recognize everyone's hard work and effort, because you're doing amazing, amazing things. And I hope that you can see that and you can feel that even in the midst of this process of making stuff. It's easy to lose sight of how far you've come because you're always looking at where you want to go next. So I hope that you can take a moment and savor the good parts, because you have accomplished something incredible, not just by being part of this program, but by putting yourself out there, by doing the work, by making something that you love and that you believe in and that brings you joy. It doesn't ever have to be published. It doesn't ever have to go anywhere. You can build the coolest game in the world and play it with your best friends. And who cares if it has 800 pieces? That's a worthy pursuit and wonderful and a joyous thing. So thank you so much for following something that you're excited about, because it can be hard to put yourself out there. And I'm just so proud of all of you and so grateful that you shared your experiences with us.
Ditto. I've got nothing better than that. That was wonderful. Did you write that beforehand?
It's on my notes by hand. Oh. Well, I think that about wraps it up from me. Do you have anything else that you want to share here, Mike, or anybody else in the comments? If you want to put final thoughts forward here, or your empty pizza plates.
Yeah. My pizza box is almost half empty. I'll probably finish another slice and then drive up to wherever you are.
I don't know how you managed to eat so much pizza. I ate one slice and I only ate half of it. I was distracted by how exciting this was.
Thank you. Like Grace said, thank you to everyone for signing up, whether it's the first time or the second or third or fourth. Everyone for continuing to be an active part of the Discord, for coming to our roundtables, coming to our playtest, watching the speaker series live or after the fact, and just for if all you did was the mentorship, that's fine. That is the cake with the icing. Everything else is sprinkles. Okay, it's not even icing; it's just sprinkles. Really, thank you for doing.
And like sprinkles, so much of that will be around for the next year. So you can your series at your leisure, really.
That's right. Exactly. So really, thank you. And then I just want to highlight Quantize Talk coming up again. Let me throw that slide up there. Quanchai Moria is going to be doing a talk on illustration and artwork in board games. This will be hosted by Nathan Blades. The final video in our speaker series for this session, and that is Sunday, August 29th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. That's right. 3 p.m. Eastern time.
And just a quick note moving forward as far as next steps. So we mentioned some of this before in like the weekly newsletters, but what you do from here is absolutely up to you. And if you haven't finished meeting with your mentor, if you do have another meeting scheduled, or if you're communicating via email or anything, we encourage that you decide together what you want your relationship to be moving forward. Some people are very content to say, we did our 3 months together, we had a wonderful time, or we had an okay time, and we're ready to move on and separate, and thank you for the experience. Some people, as we've heard, have decided to continue meeting. Some people will continue meeting in the same format and the same style with regular scheduled meetings. A lot of people go to a more informal relationship where they say, my door is open, and if you need anything, you can email or continue to ask questions, but we're no longer going to meet regularly. So have that discussion with your partner, make a choice that you all feel comfortable with. It is absolutely okay to say the program is over and I'm ready to move on. But we just wanted to put that out there that the ball is in your court now. And again, if you have any questions, if you feel uncomfortable with how it's winding down or how things have wrapped up, or you need advice on how to move forward, you can always email us and we're happy to advise or help out if we can be helpful.
Yeah. And speaking of those next steps, like we said before, our Discord's always open. We don't kick anyone out, so you're still part of that. So as far as our relationship goes, with Grace, myself, and you, wide open.
We're still here for you.
Absolutely, we're here for you. Post in that Discord. Please use all those resources. If we ever in the future, if you're not in an active mentorship with us, but we post in the Discord about, hey, sign up for these roundtables, or hey, sign up for playtesting. Please know that if you're in the Discord, it applies to you, right? We send out those weekly emails that you may or may not have been getting, but those apply to the session members specifically, right? So if we tell you something special, that's where it'll go. If we want to tell something to everyone, it goes in the Discord, and that includes you if you're a part of that. So
yeah. And then our final note is that we will be sending out an exit survey sometime probably in this next week. That'll be an opportunity for you to give us feedback about your session. It's often a very safe space to share those negative thoughts and experiences. Again, we know not everything is sunshine and rainbows, and we want to hear about those experiences too. And we want you to have a safe, private forum to be able to say, hey, it wasn't a good match. I didn't have a good experience, or these are things I think you could be doing better. And it's also a place to share if you have ideas for the future, anything that we can be doing. We know we already talked about and saw some comments on how we can be better supporting our RPG family here and other things that we can do to better support our community. We always want to get better. We always try new things. And so it's important to know what's not working as well as what is working. So when you get that email, feel free to be brutally honest with us. We will not take it in a personal way. We want this program to work for you. So thank you in advance for sharing those thoughts. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and just to jump off of what Grace was saying there, I mentioned earlier that we used every letter in your application to match you. We use every letter. We use every line to make the letter in the exit surveys to make the program better. Almost everything that we've added to the program over the years is a direct result of someone telling it to us in the exit survey, and that is no hyperbole. It's not a lie. It's 100% the truth. So when I say you guys make the program better, that's exactly what I mean. You really do make the program better, and those exit surveys really, really help us in a lot of the ways that you see and a lot of the ways you don't see as well. A lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, our processes for how we do things, comes out of that as well. So really, please, thank you. Fill those out if you can, and let us know what we're going to be doing better and what we're doing well, so we can continue to do that. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Well, I think that's going to wrap everything up here. I see some comments there about people continuing to meet or keeping lines of communication open. That's so wonderful to hear. We hope that wherever your journey takes you in the future, it's somewhere safe and wonderful and exciting. And if there's ever anything we can do, even if it's years out of this program, we'd always love to help out. So thank you so much for being so giving, so generous, brave, and lovely. It's been lovely getting to know y'all. And just thank you for being part of this program.
All right. We'll see you all in the Discord.
Bye.
Bye.